reason that I sought out counseling from the Refuge Center was because I had been through some really difficult experiences in my childhood that were still affecting me today in my present life, involving some spiritual abuse from a really unhealthy church experience that I walked through. And then I was also going through some complicated and nuanced relationships in my work environment. Sometimes in therapy, you have to take a step backwards to go forward, and I definitely felt that. In fact, I feel like I'm just now coming out of that time. When I first started coming, my mental health was really struggling. I was struggling with self-harm, suicidal thoughts, panic attacks almost daily. I was in a really dark place mentally. I used to just be rattled with anxiety, intense anxiety daily. Oh my gosh, what did they think of that? What if I do this wrong? What if I step out of line? What if this happens? It was just incessant. And I was really sad for a couple of months there, going through some grief process, experiencing the emotions behind some things for the first time, and it was really intense. But then once I brought it all to light, I feel like God started healing those things that almost weren't able to be healed because I was hiding them. I think my fear about going to counseling was what it would cost me, if it was going to cost me to make some big changes in my life. I ended up having to make some big changes in my life, but it ended up being such a blessing. So any fear that I had, I don't have anymore. At Refuge, I've experienced hope and finding hope, especially through one session. I remember having this realization: there's healing for every wound. Some of the things that have come against us, or the experiences that we've had to go through, or even the things that we might have done ourselves, there's healing for every wound. Being an artist, it is difficult sometimes to not feel like you can be really honest. It feels like you do have this persona and you don't want to let everybody in, but it can sometimes bleed over into your personal life and maybe stop you from really opening up to the people that you need to open up to. The Refuge Center is a place where you really can be so honest. I really value that here. I feel safe to be honest, and I've needed that in my life, and it's helped me recover back parts of my heart. I guess I didn't think, you think I go to church to experience God, but I feel like I've experienced God in this counseling office. I also have done a lot of EMDR, which has helped me connect my body and my mind and my heart, all three of them at the same time, to be able to release tension that I've been carrying, and even just yesterday we did art therapy. I've never done that before, but as a musician and as an artist, it can be really difficult sometimes to create art in an environment that you're not expected to produce or commercialize anything. And so being able to paint with no judgment was so freeing, and I really think it connected my mind and my body to where I was able to finally do something without feeling like there were these expectations on me. Walking with Jesus is about removing all of the blocks and the barriers that get in the way between us and Him. So this place has been a place where I've been able to get I've become more convinced that Jesus is alive, that He's loving, and that He's caring than any other place in my life, because I've been able to actually remove those lies, those memories, those experiences that have gotten in the way of that, those blocks and barriers. Really, I feel so much more space in my heart. I feel so much more freedom. Relationally, my relationships are way better than I thought they would be. My marriage, my friendships, and even with my family, I feel like my mind, my soul, and my body are all connected now. And it used to kind of feel fragmented. When we're broken from something, it's like this glass gets shattered and we have all these jagged edges that hurt the people close to us, even if we don't want them to. And I was experiencing that in my life. And as I've started to allow God to heal those pieces, I've just noticed so much more healing in my relationships. Communication is easier, and I really believe it is so important for us. It can seem selfish sometimes to go to counseling, but I believe that it's the opposite of selfishness, because you're actually preserving the people close to you from your jagged edges.